Hello and welcome to session 2 of 4 for the Sprawl Touched Prime. The Sprawl is a PbtA game of cyberpunk. It's one of the earliest cyberpunk PbtA games, and it has a very strong mission-based structure. If you like PbtA and you're a fan of Blades in the Dark, I think there's a lot of tech that I won't say necessarily influence, but there's a lot of crossover, and you may find this a good way to do it. It's definitely focused on the job. Take the job, do the job. And this particular add-on, Touch Prime, is a kind of a strange. It's a really unique thing where we're in the future of cyberpunk, but then there's been this magical incident, and these fantasy peoples have started to emerge and stuff. It reminds me of something else, another game that might have been out there, Shadowrun. So that's how we're playing it today. If you're watching this session is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts. The Gauntlet is an online gaming club, and you can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. We also have a publishing arm. We have a variety of podcasts. If you like PbtA games, because you've tried and went, oh, look, I want to see what this is, I highly recommend the Plus One Forward podcast that we do, which is a podcast dedicated to particular PbtA games, talking with the designer, walking through them, exploring them, and then they have specialty topic episodes. So I recommend that. So today we're going to start with some not shopkeeping. I can't remember what the word is. Anyway, upkeep, and we're going to check in with our
bookkeeping.
Bookkeeping. Thank you. Shopkeeping. All right. Good one, Lowell. So lines and veils. Among our safety tools, besides the X card and our open door policy, we have lines and veils. Here are the things that we have marked as lines. We have harm to animals, harm to children, homophobia, sexual assault, suicide, torture, and then we've also added cyberware subtraction from humanity. That concept where we've put a hard line on that. And then veil, where we have veils on eye injuries, PC betrayal, sexual content, slavery, pandemic/virus, and martial law. Those things are all on the table, and our roller is Safely Prime Corgi. So there we go, which is adorable. So let's check in. I'm going to very quickly hide the column for Damien. Hide this. And let's start by checking in with Jinshu, our driver. You're at XP 6 out of 10, so potentially you could get an advance this session.
Mm-hmm.
And are you good with your directives, or do you want to change any of those or rephrase them?
I'm good with those for now. The other ones from the playbook didn't grab me particularly, and
okay.
I don't know if I'm into this storyline enough to come up with custom ones quite yet. I may change at least one of those next time, just because they are both pointed at Mitsuhama at the moment.
Yeah, and feel free to look at the other playbooks, directives. One resource that might be good is to actually get like a sheet that just has all the directives on it, so people could look through. I might do that next time I go to run the Sprawl, just to make it easier to go through. Okay, and you're good with your moves?
Those people will be very happy.
Wow, you are roboting, Rich.
Okay, I'm going to drop. I noticed that like I was talking, but it was. Let me drop and come back. Sorry.
Okay. So Patrick, for Jinshu, are you happy with the moves that you've taken?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good.
I like my weird vehicles. I like the fleet of them, and being able to drive other people around and argue with my car.
That is excellent. And then Spark, are you good with your directives?
I just changed one of them whenever I looked at it. It was cyberware destroys one's connection with nature. And I changed it to I've been taught cyberware destroys one's connection with magic. I have this image in my head, like at some point having to get cyberware, having, losing a limb or something like that. And, being, I have plans. I die. This is what happens. I
Right.
get kicked out of the group. This is what happens. Yeah.
Okay. I
It'll
like
be
that.
fun.
And you're at 5 out of 10 on your XP.
Mhm.
And you have this delightful lean into the rift magic there.
That's right.
And then Rich, for Grumsh, you are at 7 out of 10 XP. Are you good with your directives?
I need to define the protective. I had left it vague as to who felt like he had to was. Am I sounding any better?
You roboted a little bit right when you came in.
Oh, jeez and crackers. Okay, I'm not sure what's up. Nobody else is on that connection.
Okay.
So sorry. Protective. I just need to define who I'm protective towards. It makes sense. The feeble little wizard would be that.
Absolutely. And feel free too. I mean, you could swap that from session to session.
That's
depending
true.
on how
I may
things...
do that. Based on this mission, it is obviously Jinju who is weak.
Now, the other thing I forgot about last time.
Cool. It will be, yeah.
Oh, sorry, roboting there. Sorry. So the other thing I forgot about from last time, or did I already do this? We did the link advancements right last time. You checked in on who you learned about the most.
That doesn't sound familiar.
Okay, so what we do at the
I don't
end
remember
of,
that. Yeah,
at
that
the end of the
familiar.
session, what we do is we check in with everybody, and we ask you who you think during that previous mission you learned the most about. So, Jinshu, in the course of last time, when you were going along with Spark and Damien and Grumsh, who did you feel you got more insight into their personality?
I definitely felt like Grumsh was very out there and open and just lay it all on the table and also shoot a bunch.
Then you will get one link with Grumsh.
Neato.
And then Grumsh, who did you learn most about?
It was Spark and I that went into the building and fought shoulder to shoulder, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is who I would learn the most about. Just want to make sure that my memory is actually what you guys remembered.
And you'll put your links up to 2 then. And what about for you, Spark?
Yeah, I think the same thing is true. I think that because Spark and his demon creature went in with Grumsh, I think that I learned the most about Grumsh.
Okay. So I want to check in and get some insights into characters here. And to kind of see, let me ask you this, Jinshu. Besides your car, and what is your car's name again?
Vanguard.
Vanguard. Besides Vanguard, who is it that Jinshu has a strong connection to? Who cares about? Who in the real world helps anchor Jinshu?
So he did a lot of stunt work, stand-in work, dangerous physical things for the Mitsuhama Entertainment division. So I think there's he trains somewhere. Gym, or it's Mitsuhama, so it's Kyoto is where he was, so a dojo probably.
Mm-hmm.
Where he does martial arts general fitness training for all of the it's not like you go onto a movie set and it's a formal style most of the time. Falling off of buildings takes some creativity and some combinations of different I don't know, expertises, physical stuff.
And that's do you have a name for a trainer from there? That's that what you're thinking?
Yeah. Let's find a name. Celeth. Celethe.
And male, female, human?
Female, let's go elf. Elves are cool.
Okay. So would you say that your character, that Jinshu has kept up on the physical side of their training, has kept up on doing stunt works and being strong and physically fit, or is that declined, or is that increased?
I think it's probably increased, even though his workload has, fallen off a cliff. It's not like he can go out there and publicly work a lot, because then Mitsuhama would come after him in Vanguard. But Mitsuhama is like tied in with the Yakuza, and they're super violent, and so his life has, for reals, gotten more dangerous. And so I think he's just upped that to training more than he had before.
And Celeste will after you've done a set of reps, and I imagine that the exercise equipment, the stuff here is wildly cybered up, but also probably jury rigged together in some places. It looks a little dangerous. You're not sure if the spotting robot actually would save you or not, that kind of thing. But Celeste will come and say, so your friends at Mitsu, they've been putting out outrageously high-paying job offers through middlemen for stunt people.
And he's like, as soon as she started talking about Mitsuhama, he's like frantically looking around, making sure no one's near them, pulls her off into some like deeper part of shadow and whispers more obviously. But it's what do you mean stunt work?
They are clearly trying to get inroads into the stunt person, like, informal network, to maybe see if they can lure you out Robin Hood style, or get someone from the community to turn you in. Just be aware that if you work with other stunt people right now, you want to be really careful.
I'm not stupid enough to take a set job right now. I know that. Look, it's just thanks. I mean, thanks though.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, be wary of friends in the industry.
Yeah.
And she'll nod and goes back. And of course, because this is a game from the like late 80s, 90s, she does look like, she's got the headband and the aerobics workout thing on an elf kind of thing in pink.
And I think as she's walking away, and as Jinshu like slowly goes back to his workout, he's like squinting, side-eyeing her, like every now and then looking over with a new sort of layer of suspicion at her and like the other people coming in here.
I think that's fair. Spark, let me ask you, you belong to the Luddy Syndicate, your order. What is it recently in that community, in that order, that has begun to grate on you? has begun to get under your skin?
So I think that I've always felt like the Luddy Syndicate is kind of a family, and they've taken care of their members, and their members take care of them. And whenever we do a job, some portion of the money for that job goes back to the syndicate. And just recently, leadership has changed to a new leader named Dante, and Dante has upped that percentage. So it's a little bit more painful than it had been. And that's grating on my, nerves. Is he really just in this for the money?
What kind of do you live in a chantry facility? Do you have your own place, or is the chantry kind of like a meeting place? What do you imagine that is?
I think there's an old factory where we meet, and there's a big open area, and then at the sides where the offices or something like that would be, those have been converted into living quarters. So there's a cramped 8x8 area that's my living quarters, along with my brothers and sisters.
You've finished up on your job. You've come back. The essentially accountant for the Luddy Syndicate asks you for the details, and we'll take a cred from you.
Yep.
But that's fictionally, so you don't actually have to spend it.
I don't mind. I'll just spend that and turn it in. Yep.
Okay. He'll say, have you heard any mutterings amongst your brethren?
About what in specific? No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I heard that there's a certain amount of loss of confidence in Dante, a reaction from people who don't understand what a cost of living increase and upkeep cost rising is like.
Well, to be honest, I have not heard anything from anyone else regarding Dante's behavior. But just between us, I think it would be important that Dante show that he has the group's best interests at heart. And I think that would, if you're concerned about this, I think that would go a long way towards quelling any dissension that you're starting to hear about.
I find your lack of faith disturbing. But I will certainly carry your words to Dante.
I wouldn't describe this as a loss of faith or a lack of faith. I would describe this as eagerness to help the group.
Potato, tomato.
Well,
we'll speak again. Grumpsh, what do you spend your money on? Because you made out like a bandit last time.
You are kidding. I think probably slide through a few, intermediaries, like a few creds, a few good amount of cred over to the Red Hats. I still feel guilty about that. Then I'll probably blow a bunch of it on buying rounds at this Halloween or Go bar that's I really shouldn't be at. I've been thinking maybe I could be part of their introduction trainee program. They get new members to the gang and they have to face me. I don't know. They don't really like the idea, so I mostly just stick around there.
Who's a significant person among the Halloweeners that clearly is willing to deal with you as a peer, isn't scared of you, has some respect for you?
Yeah, that's That's tough. It would probably be the one I call Pumpkin, mostly Halloween or pumpkin theming. You know, not really sure what the real name is, but they kind of designate themselves as the person to talk me down, recommend that I leave occasionally. Yeah, Pumpkin.
So yeah, you've been spreading money around, buying rounds, that kind of thing. But you've definitely picked up a low level vibe of some distance in some places. And as you're finishing up, Pumpkin comes and he has a black jacket, but everything else is kind of done in shades of orange.
Nice.
And he's got, the Halloweener face paint to make his face look like a jack-o'-lantern. It's a little like the Harlequin kind of thing. But for that, and he sits down and he says, "So, Grumsh."
Pumpkin.
So we had a little birdie come and talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
They used to belong to the Red Hats. Early days.
Yeah.
A lot of replacements, a lot of upgrades on this fellow. A lot of limbs that got reset.
Lucky him.
And he told us an interesting story about you.
What's that?
Well, that you infiltrated the group for a military organization and then blew it up from the inside.
Huh.
Betraying the trust of everyone. I said, well, that's not exactly the Grumsh that I know. But this person said, well, my body's sort of the evidence to the contrary.
Huh. Wow, that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you don't believe them, right? I mean, I'd never be a Halloweener. You imagine me on one of your little rice burner bikes? Just a patron of this bar, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's good that you're a patron and not, not clearly trying to dig your way into our group. Clearly keeping on the outside margins, because if the opposite were the case, then I might have to dig deeper.
I don't know if you really want to do that, friend. And that's not a threat from me. That's just a warning to you. For your own safety. Sometimes it is best to keep things at face value. That's all I'm offering here. Just want some place where I can throw a few creds around that I work hard for. You want to tell your people not to trust me? I don't blame them. But I wouldn't dig too deep.
Keep it that line and I won't have to, and we'll all be good.
I hear you, Pumpkin. Reach over, clap his shoulder. You want another round? I'll pull out my little cred stick thing.
Absolutely. They'll certainly take your money. Your money's good here. So
it does spend.
Yeah. Spark Shout. Feel free. You asked if you could buy equipment or things like that. Anything that's like really high cost, I'd want to check in. But that the prices are on page 135 of the Sprawl book. But then I've also got a PDF with the assets that has the gear and stuff like that. If anybody wants to buy anything extra. And Rich, we swapped. Are you swapping? We're swapping your custom weapon move out, aren't we?
Yeah, we talked about it, and I didn't follow through on that. It's Yeah, that's a thing we mentioned.
Feel free to think about that as we go through, and if you do want to switch it out for something, that's no problem.
Cool. I will definitely do that. Sorry,
Okay.
I wasn't up on it.
That's okay.
If you have a PDF, could you? Is that in the drive?
It is in the drive folder. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
It's Sprawl Gears and Assets.
Fantastic. Thank you.
So you will get a call. This time, let's say it comes through Jinshu. You're part of the team. It's a different Mr. Johnson that you've interacted with, who says, "Hey, how are you doing, Jinshu? You good? You good?"
You know, things are good. I'm fine. Nothing's wrong. Why? Have you heard something?
No, I got a couple of jobs on the table.
They're not stunt jobs, right? Because, I'm trying to stay away from that.
Do you do stunt work?
No.
No, it's your team job, runner jobs.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay,
That's what I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah. I've got a couple of contracts potentially on the table. Why don't you and your team come down to Monocle, and we'll do a little chat.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Absolutely.
Worth our time.
Well, they're contracts. I get my cut if you take it. So yeah.
Well,
Come on.
I'm just saying, there's contracts, and then there's contracts. Like, this is worth all of my team's time.
I've been in this business long enough not to call you guys out on anything less than dangerous and high-paying jobs.
Perfect. Sounds fun.
Spark, tell me something about this bar / club called Monocle.
It is split down the middle. It is a typical dance club on one side, and then there's a dividing line. And I don't know how they did this with the lighting, but on the other side, you can only hear the music like thuds and thumps, and then it's very dark, like your typical seedy bar. So it establishes the ravers can go to one side, and the people who are just there to drink and nefarious deeds are on the other side. So whenever you go in, you can just literally step across this dividing line back and forth, and it's really crazy.
And when the three of you arrive, you will see this Mr. Johnson. He's a scrang lizard with the head like fin and so on. Grumsh, how is this scrang, Mr. Johnson? How is he dressed?
I think there's a lot of feathers, like a feather kind of collar thing going on that makes him seem like it almost looks like he's trying to affect that that's part of him. Like he's got feathers. It's an odd little bit. But he's not wearing a monocle because that's too on point.
That's too much, yeah.
Just want to clarify.
Plus, it's hard
those
because
half monocles. He doesn't wear it.
Yeah, side-mounted little eyes would be a little problem there for him. But unlike most of the other Mr. Johnsons that you work with, he like meets you at the door when you come in and seems excited and drags the three of you over to a seedy bar table and has you sit down and says, "How is everybody doing? Good? Is everybody good?"
Super. It's great. This is a very nice club. We're enjoying ourselves.
It is nice. It is nice. So I've got 2 jobs. I'll give you the basics. And if you're interested in one of them, then I'll fix up the contract for you, get you set so you can get the full-on details.
Is this like normal for him, or does he seem
Yeah, he's just super
tired?
excited. He's just very sociable. You actually find him a little off-putting because he is so like solicitous of you and stuff.
And boisterous about the illegal work that he's getting us to do or whatever.
Absolutely. So let me tell you about the first job. Okay. And he pulls out a little data pad. So there was an attack recently on a magical research laboratory. And it got mowed to the ground. And everybody eliminated. But one of the people who worked security, well, not security, more research. It's unclear to me right now. Apparently escaped, but took some things with them, and the employer would like you to retrieve this person's items.
Whose lab was this?
And he kind of raised his hands. You know, I can't say more about that until you take the contract.
The other?
The other is this. There's a neighborhood in North Seattle, Gloverfield, and there's been a series of attacks there, like a gang hits, criminal hits, and it's been sort of nasty, and they want some people to come in and figure out what's going on with this and put a stop to it. Those both seem in your wheelhouse, right?
Yes. No,
Good.
those are good.
That's good. Okay. Well, I tell you what, I'll go and buy another round, and the three of you can confer.
That sounds great.
Okay. Stands up and he goes over to the bar. Feathers in the breeze here.
Grumsh reaches forward and puts forth the little white noise generator in the middle of the table and sits back. Anyone who looks, it's got like military coding on it. Well, does
Really
sound in our
strange
wheelhouse.
Johnson.
As long as it pays.
Do they both pay the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have preferences, friends. Come on, chummers. Surely one over the other.
I mean, stolen magitech always sounds interesting.
And it sounds a lot less dangerous than jumping into the middle of a war.
There's also that, yes, I didn't want to, but yes.
No. I understand, chummers, but remember, when you jump in the middle of a war, if you play it right, you've got at least one side working for you until you flip.
There's also at least one side working against you, presumably well armed or at least very angry.
Fair point, didn't you? So we want the magic stuff?
Yeah, I think we might be better set for that.
And who knows? These sorts of high-end esoteric thieves, you can never tell what else might be in their possession that's not on our particular list.
And Mr. Johnson comes back to the table, puts another round out for you, and sits down and says, "So you decided?"
So, whose magical research shop was it?
Is that the job you're taking?
The job.
Okay, hold on. And he does a thing where he has to take his little lizard thumb and put it on the thing contract and opens up the file and it accepts the job on your behalf. And you'll all on your cred stick notifications will get, you know, a coded signal that says that you've accepted. So a couple of days ago, a place called Daylight Breaks Explorations, apparently working in relics, artifacts, things like that, but not entirely clear who up the food chain is from them. Anyway, they got hit by a team. Details on who that is unclear at this point. The most important thing is there was a guy named Denbei Kalk, an elf. He's a wizard. It's unclear, but it's probably a researcher, but definitely somebody with some skills to throw things around. When when daylight went up, Kalk apparently got out, survived, and took 3 items. One of them is apparently, and I apologize, but this is what I've got here. One of them is an idol, small, hand-sized. It says one is a container that is well sealed with arcane sigils, should not be opened. And the third they just list as statue head.
Statue head?
Yeah.
Is it general size or indication?
Statue head, no.
Person head? Animal head?
Statue head.
Indescribable abstract representational art head?
I will read you the line once more, Jinshu. Statue head.
Fine. I'm just saying, if we come back with, if he has a collection of statue heads, we're going to have to make a choice, and we still expect to get paid.
I'm sure you do, yes. Look, I'm the middleman in all of this. So, they want Kalk located. They want you to retrieve the items, and they want you to return the items to a secure facility located in Seattle here. That point is particularly important. I have the sense that they believe these items are dangerous and need to be put under lock and key quickly.
And Kalk?
There's no notes about what to do with Kalk.
All right.
That seems to be secondary to them and their considerations. So
since they consider these items dangerous, did they provide any containment for them?
No, they did not.
Side note: does this guy actually go by Mr. Johnson, or I have him down as Lizard Johnson at the moment? Is there something more?
Lizard Johnson is fine. That's fine.
All right, cool.
Accepts it. So we have a role here for when you take a job. And that move is get the job. Someone needs to roll with edge. Who will it be? Who has good edge?
I'll do that.
Okay.
I was going to suggest Spark.
Yeah. Okay. I rolled an 8, plus my edge 1 is a 9.
Okay. When you negotiate the terms of a job, then you're going to choose one from the list below. Employer provides useful information, intel. The employer provides useful assets, gear. Job pays well. The meeting doesn't attract attention. The actual employer is identifiable.
You guys have a preference?
I can't remember specifically if we had any from before, but does intel or gear carry over between missions?
No, it does not.
Okay.
I'm waffling between the job pays well and the meeting doesn't attract attention. Let's say it pays well.
Okay, so
Because
double
attention
pay.
is always fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. just
we doing the staking thing now, or I can't remember when the sequence that happens.
So now you will stake 1, 2, or 3 credits on the job. And if the job is successful, then you will get back double what you put in. However, when you stake 3 credits, that kind of ups the ante, and it raises the action and legwork phase alternately.
What got us back triple last time?
Yeah, because
I got
job,
that trip.
because if you add job pays well to that, it's tripled.
That's what we chose.
Yeah, so it'd be triple. I'm sorry, it'd be triple of this.
Okay.
It's base doubled, and then you'll with your choice it'll be tripled.
Gotcha. Okay.
Math is hard. So Grumsh, what would you like to
Two.
stake?
I will stake 2.
Stake 2.
Staking 2. I mean, I want to stake 3, but I did it last time, so I'm not going to be a greedy little grumsh. So I will stake 2.
Spark?
I'm going to stake 2 as well. It's difficult because it leaves me kind of poor, but yeah.
I got your back, chummer.
Jinshu.
I was very conservative and didn't quite feel like betting a lot last time, so I don't have a ton of money, so I'm going to stake 3.
Okay.
Good payday.
All right.
I have 3 oil-sucking mouths to feed.
That sounds perfect. So what we're going to do is you have some basic details, and we're going to kind of do the legwork phase here, trying to find out information, trying to track this person down, trying to get a sense of the scope of things. Everyone just took the job, so you get to mark XP. Spark, let's start with you. What do you want to do? What do you want to look into? What do you want to do? And I know you've got some moves for the legwork phase.
Yeah, the move that I have is about contacts. So
Okay.
I think I want to hit the streets looking for information about these items. Specifically, if they're dangerous, I want to know more about that.
Okay. So you're going to name a new contact?
I am. Let's see. I think that this contact is a fence. And his name is Mania.
Okay.
And he dabbles in, old artifacts and things from the arcane. He's set up in like an antique shop. So when you open it up, it's very out of pocket, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
On either side there's like these industrial buildings. There's this short, squat kind of antique building that doesn't have, a 3rd or 4th floor. You open up and there's like dust motes inside, and everything's dusty and furniture. And he sits behind a counter, an old traditional counter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There are probably a couple of the like Roombas that are jammed into the corners where they shorted out, and they're dust covered as well.
Yeah.
Like they died an ignoble death there. And Mania will look at you. Oh, it's so good to see you. It was glad just when they came in to see me.
Oh, it's been a long time, Mania.
This is years ago with the things, and I went to that's it, and then yes, it's too long.
So, as it turns out, I'm here for some information.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to see if you could tell me. I've got a lead on some items that were recently taken.
Mm-hmm.
And so you may have heard about these things, and I wanted to see if you could tell me anything about the danger involved in them.
Well, let's have you roll your hit the streets with your touched
Yeah.
touch.
Oh, I rolled a 4. My touch is 2, so that's a 6.
He says, absolutely. I can absolutely tell you about these. But I only know about one of these things.
Ah.
Because I heard that they, how do I put this? That Daylight had this, and it was important. Had a thing called the chronoterm.
Oh.
It's an old relic. Some say it's an item that helped open the rifts in the first place. That was essentially pre-change, and there's some suspicion about it. It looks like a head that's made out of hands. Like all the hands are bundled together. It's not like a hands around a head, but like the hands have all kind of formed together.
Oh. Okay.
It is a dangerous object in the wrong hands.
Well, if you were to transport this or to sell it to someone, how would you protect, your seller?
That I don't know.
Ah.
Sorry.
Huh. Well, I'll have to look into it a little bit more, but thank you for telling me about that. That makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
And I'll be sure and send anything else that we find your way. See if we can't work out a good deal.
I appreciate that. Always good to do business. He knows his sort of vocal tick has gone away after you asked him the question.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, well, I will see you later then.
Yes. Yeah.
And like immediately after you're at the door, he reaches over to an old style phone, picks up the receiver. The numbers are more complicated, so he has to do it like 12 times to get the dial to go through. And then he's like, yes. You asked if anyone were looking into the items from Daybreak? Well, I have a name for you. And you get to mark XP, and the legwork clock has gone up by 1. Jinshu, what do you want to do?
I mean, this guy's on the run.
Mm-hmm.
He's almost certainly had to get in contact with some people to move or to get him away or to get a vehicle or something from them. There's someone who's had to transport him under the radar. I want to see if I can dig into any like driving getaway sort of contacts.
Okay. So you want to do that with hit the streets or with the research?
Hit the streets. I should probably do hit the streets.
Okay.
Research is not my thing.
Not your thing. So tell me, what is the name of the contact that you go to talk to?
Parcel.
Tell me about Parcel.
Parcel, I think, was a courier when they were younger, like sort of street rat, running the streets, running things for people in a sort of like no one would pay attention to anybody that grimy sort of way. I think they've definitely come up in the world since then. I think they run their own couriers now. And there's sort of that like scraping by into middle class, but
Mm-hmm.
coming from poverty has much higher pretensions of where they are now, sort of thing.
Let's have you roll style. Let's see how that is to contact, and then we'll kind of roll forward on that.
Oh, come on. That's how we're going to start things today, Dice. That's all right. Well, that's a 4.
That is a 4. Well, the good news is you get to mark XP.
Oh, well, I thought this was going to be a bad outcome.
Oh, no. That's certainly not the case here. So just let me do a couple of raises here.
What do a couple of what's happening?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. So you will talk with Parcel, and you know they're kind of glad to see you, but they say I'd be really careful right now. There's a lot of heat out there.
Look, I know. I'm staying away from. I've heard.
No. The
people-
stuff you're asking about. You're asking about transport stuff right now, kind of on the DL stuff.
Yeah.
There's somebody with some pull. I think backed by a team that is also been asking around about it.
Is it daylight?
I don't know the details on it. I don't know who, but what I'll tell you is whoever you're looking for, they're not going by air. They're not going by car. Those routes are covered right now.
So you think they're still in the city?
That'd be my guess right now.
Oh, that's perfect. That's good. No, that narrows it down. I mean,
Okay.
a name or neighborhood would be great, but in the city is good.
No, I don't want to get my mitts in this. You understand?
I think Jinshu will try and flash some cred and push on a bribe angle there.
But he shakes his head. He's like, he doesn't even want, clearly what he's heard has made him wary enough that he is not going to get involved.
I think Jinshu's hand slowly retracts where he was offering that, and his eyes get that suspicious look again of he's looking over his shoulder. And right, well, thanks for the word. I should, there's other leads I need to run down. You're a busy man.
Okay. Grumpsh, what are you up to, my man?
Yeah. Okay, so we know about the chrono term. So we know a little bit about the stuff. Don't know a whole lot about the target because there's a whole lot of heat, which is not great.
Mm-hmm.
Good work, Jinshu. Thanks a lot. That's not super helpful. Means that we should have negotiated more, but that's fine.
You got triple pay, so that seems like good negotiations to me.
Good work, Jinshu. Withdrawn. I think I'm going to. I really want to try to get some more. I'm hoping to scope some intel.
Okay.
So my hope is to hit the street.
Okay.
A little bit of style, and I'm going to be reaching out, trying to find some info on where this Denbei Kalk might be. So hit the streets, rolling with style. My style is a +1. Here we go. Oh, jeez, it's still rotating. It's just rotating over and over and over and over and over, and I don't like the numbers. So I'm just going to refresh to make sure it doesn't come back
Absolutely.
better. That is a 5. It's a 5. That is a fail. Fail.
Okay. So I will boost this up. And what is it you particularly wanted to know?
I wanted to know where Denby could be found, right? That's one of our big things. We can't get any of this stuff going until we know where he is.
And this contact, and their name is
Kinsey.
Kenzie. Contact Kenzie. Kenzie says, "Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. This guy, I know where he's holed up right now. He's getting ready to run, and I know that he's got some pals that are keeping him safe, and then he's gonna blow town."
Okay, I'll hop on the comms and reach out to Spark and Jinshu. Hey, got a hot tip. Where Denby Caulk is, we need to move now, though, chummers. He's about to skip town. And I'll be getting on my aggressive motorcycle.
Okay.
Yeah.
As soon as I find my mute button and too many tabs, call in. Perfect, good. I haven't been able to find anything. You've got a solid lead?
Solid as they come. Kinsey and I, we go way back. She'd never leave me wrong. It's good. Let's go.
So I've got some ideas. I've got some information about what these artifacts can do, but I'm concerned they're dangerous, and I don't have any way to contain them yet. So I think whenever the call comes through, I'm actually sitting in this old library, and it actually has books in it, and I'm flipping through the books, and I'm like, right now I'm trying to figure out, how to hold on to it, unless, do you guys think that we should just go without getting proper containment?
Look, I mean, if we know where he is right now, we should at least go try and get a track on him. Even if we don't go in right this second, we'll be able to track him from a hard standpoint rather than just trying to find him out of nowhere.
And being able to trail him if he moves. That's a good idea.
Exactly. Do you need a ride, Spark?
I do, but I'm going to be a little while here. Can I give you a message whenever I need it? Pick up?
Tell you what, I'll send Vanguard over that way. I can take the bike, and they'll get you there as fast as possible whenever you need it.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
I think we do make a cut here where we do see Kenzie, and I think we see Kenzie, and we see her place a call, and we see a face that we probably saw last time of Doriana Liu. And she's like, yeah, okay, I put him in the crosshairs. Those guys are ready to eliminate their competition. Yeah. And I says, I don't know if the vamp was with him or not. Don't worry about that. We'll kill her friends. That'll be fine. And that we cut from that. It kind of does that fade to rainy Seattle. We're in the kind of a messy part of town. We can see that the location that they've given you is like a set of like shops that are kind of stacked one on top of each other. The bottom floor is a 3D fabricator shop. You can see that it's got like lots of reinforcements on the outside for repairs. And all around here is just kind of nasty, kind of wet smell. You can see another one of those street sweeper vehicles, except this one seems to have malfunctioned because it's like got all the cleaning foam is like spraying out in this trail behind it. So all you're smelling is this kind of ammonia and cleaning solvent in the air around here, even as the rain kind of comes down, kind of hits that and washes it out. So the whole like street around here is covered in this kind of white waves of foam. And the two of you, Jinshu and Grumsh, pull up on your bikes.
A picture of Arrow down at the bottom of my column on the character keeper. It's
Ooh, pictures.
Definitely not the Akira bike.
Totally not.
That's so good.
It might be the Akira bike.
So, Grumsh, Jinshu, you show up at this place. What's your plan?
I mean, we definitely need to scope the place out.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard he's got a few friends. Sorry, I should have mentioned that.
A few. What's
very excited.
How many is a few?
I think I heard couple friends, a couple of friends, friends who are a couple. One of those, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well,
Let's go.
normally I have a couple of friends with me too, but it's just the two of us. And you, okay, you count as at least a couple of normal size. Stop looking at me like that.
No, it's fine, Jinshu. We're good.
I'm not used to orc math.
That's pretty speciesist, man.
But no, I'm just saying. There's a lot more of you. Like you personally, there's a lot more of you than me.
I think
for
you
normal
have an
size.
excellent presence, Jinshu. I think you fill a room yourself. Let's do the job.
So, Grumsh, you want to case the joint?
Yeah, I want to. Is there a case to joint, or is it?
There is assess.
Okay, cool. Oh, by the way, I just want to quickly say that the move I chose is hard. Is the move, and it's when you make the hard move, subtract your meat from the roll.
Ooh.
My meat is a +2, so hopefully when I get XP for protecting Spark, it will not. Or no, masochistic and also protective. Yeah. When those get trigger XP, I won't die for it. Cool. So assess is an edge. I'm a little edgy with a +1.
I help him out with that.
And you, I believe, can assist. After they roll.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay, here we go. Rolled a 7 +1 makes it an 8. And a 7 plus only gives a +1, so I'd say save it. Personally.
So you've got one hold to ask a question, and you get to take +1 forward on the answers.
Nice. I like the term +1 forward. I just dropped the questions into chat. Take a look. Any of those in particular, Patrick, that you want to ask? Like, what do I notice despite an effort to conceal it?
I mean, I always love
Best
that
way
one.
in, out, way past is good. Where can they gain the most advantage is also really good. Biggest threat in the situation. These are well written.
Yeah, I like these. I like what do I notice despite an effort to conceal it.
Let's do that. What do I notice despite an effort to conceal it?
Well, it seems strange to you, given this safe house thing, that there'd be a sniper up across on the roof across the way. And you're noticing here that the layout is less a layout of kind of, with the barriers and things around here, the way things set up. It's less a kind of a protective safe house and more, it seems designed to give a nice killing field when you enter the place. Additional entry points have been kind of locked. It's definitely be giving you a single path entry, which you would not do if you're trying to protect a place. Pardon?
Hey, Jinshu.
Yeah.
This smells rotten. Let's go get us.
There's a lot of ammonia.
Oh. Not me.
Are you just noticing this?
I grab Jinshu by the shoulder and kind of walk him down a street for a little bit and say, hey, don't look, but there's a sniper across the block.
Jinshu 1000% looks.
The good thing is that the sniper wasn't across that block, so
Sniper.
Didn't see him. Well, I got him. I clocked him. Listen, this feels a little like a setup, so I suggest that we go around, tag that sniper, question them, find out what's really going on.
Wait, are you saying that your information source was bad?
Yeah, I'm saying that.
Man, I've just
Feels bad.
got to be more careful when going out and looking for
Can't trust
information
anybody,
about these
Chalmer.
things.
Except me.
You got to be very circumspect. Okay, so how do we snipe a sniper?
Well, the good news about a sniper is that when looking down that scope, no peripheral vision. So here's you. I'm going to move towards that place, draw his eye, and you're going to get the sniper. Okay?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah.
This seems like a good point to cut to Spark, and then we'll come back to see how that rolls out. Spark, what are you up to?
So I think Spark, when we were talking about it, Spark was actually, looking at a dusty old tome. He got this message from the other two saying, "Hey, I think we're going to go check things out." And that, I think we see a zoom into the camera and we see the kind of the bead of sweat coming down. He starts frantically looking through things because he knows that means shit's going down without him.
Right.
And these guys aren't going to wait. They're not going to, check things. They're not going to be patient. They're just going to go hit this place, and they need backup. So I think, as he's flipping through it, he hears Vanguard come screeching up outside, and he looks for a second, and then he just grabs the page and he rips it out, and he stuffs it in his coat pocket, and then stuffs the book back up and runs out and hops into Vanguard.
I think that you have caused some difficulty for the mission based on your desire to research, don't you?
Yeah, sure.
So I think you have hit your directive there.
Okay.
So you may mark XP. Do you want to do a research roll?
Certainly. I think that's worth the trouble that was caused. So yeah. Research is mind?
Mind, yes.
Mind. Okay. I rolled a 9 plus 1 mind is 10.
So you get intel. And what is your question?
I guess it's so without the list, it's something along the lines of how do we contain this? So I think it'd be something like how secure are these items to transport?
The container, they've said, is warded, so that's probably on its own safe as long as you don't open it up.
Right.
And probably pretty solid, so you don't expect it's like an accidental drop it and shatter and all that stuff. The third item you're not sure about, but your sense is that it's probably given what you're seeing here, something small, maybe a defensive item, easy to handle. Chronoterm, you need to get something solid to put the box in a box, and you do not want to touch it with anything resembling flesh. And in fact, you want to probably use cyber hands or gear or something else to touch it, because it will take your hand.
And I think that I get this as Vanguard is driving to make the rendezvous. I'm desperately looking through this page, and it's gotten wet as I've got into Vanguard from the rain and everything, and I'm like, oh, and it's smudging a little bit. You can see the raindrops hitting on the page, and I'm like, there it is. That's what I need.
You get a follow-up question with that 10 from the research thing.
Um. So fictionally, okay. Let's see. And I'm going to say, who or what is this most valuable to?
So this item and the things you're seeing, the notes, the people who've done research on this recently, the queries, all of that, you're guessing whoever's trying to take this right now is Renraku. Like they're in the mix, messing with this. It is definitely who is hunting and has put some money into hunting this down.
Great. So they've got their hands in this kind of mix of stuff, and I think as soon as I get that name and I put those pieces together, I'm going to get on the radio, and I say, Vanguard, contact the two, Grumsh and Jinshu, and I tell them all this information basically.
Yeah. So, Jinshu, I assume you don't take your bike to ambush this.
You foolish man.
So tell me how you take your bike.
Grumsh and I split up, and I sort of drive quietly off into traffic until I back up. I'm like, there's the building the sniper's on, and I'm like on the block behind that. As I make a sudden turn out of traffic and just hit the side of this building and go straight up as the bike does a little wheelie right before I get there. Spikes come out of the tires. And I leave this like trail of cracks and gravel sort of falling behind him as he revs up the bike. It goes speeding up the side of this building, unnecessarily swerving between windows,
Absolutely.
Floor to floor, just to make it cooler and have more speed lines. And as he like gets to the top of the building, there's just this like arc shot up in the moonlight, streaking neon behind him. As he's making this sail through the air across the street to slide on the wheels, like sliding sideways into the sniper from behind as we come up behind him. And, scraping across the rooftop's not going to be very loud, but the bike is quiet. So
it is quiet. So I think we see Grumsh moving into position to draw attention. And then I think, Jinshu, let's have you roll act under pressure to do this and get this person taken out of the lines here before they can fire.
I do also have a thing where I can use vehicles with mix it up if you'd.
Oh no, this is act under pressure, I think.
Okay, cool. I can use it for that as well. One of these is a roller. Are we telling the truth? Okay. 8 plus 3 is 11.
Okay. So this guy is sitting there, and we probably get the shot through the crosshairs as Grumsh is crossing the street, kind of casual, like kind of moving like he's checking the situation out. And I imagine that you're kind of a little bit coordinated. So I imagine there's a moment when the bike's about to come, Grumsh. What is the gesture or look you give the sniper before the bike crashes on him?
It's a moment where Grumsh is right at the door. He's reached his hand out. He hears the note. He stops and he turns and he looks up and he pulls his shades down and winks at the sniper through the crosshair.
And you hear him go, I think it might be. And
awesome.
there's that kind of crunch as the bike hits this guy, sends him sprawling. The sniper rifle goes scattering across the thing. The comms piece goes knocked off of him, and you'll kind of do that spin, come to a stop, Vanguard, and this guy is trying to get up and get ready to fight, but he's clearly you hit him on the back and he's trying to stand up.
Yeah, I think there's that sort of knees down shot as Jinshu like climbs off of the motorcycle. You see his boot kick at the butt of the sniper rifle that's laying there on the roof, and it sort of flips up into Jinshu's hands as he points it at the guy and says, "Hi, here's someone's looking for us."
Let's take our break here, and we'll cut to the gang together having a chat with this fine fellow.
Nice.
Awesome.
We're back, and so we get a shot, a controlled environment with Grumpsh and Jinshu and Spark. We're probably a block or two away from the site. You know that eventually the people in the building are going to question why the sniper isn't reporting in, but you've got a few moments, a couple minutes here, and the sniper kind of comes to, shakes it off, and I assume someone wants to play hardball. That is an edge roll, and you can certainly assist one another with this.
I'm happy to assist if somebody else wants to be the smack talker. I know Spark is real good at it.
I was going to say, I want to see Grumps play hardball with this guy.
Okay.
So how about if I assist you?
Okay, sounds good. I'll say, well, Chummer, you're not good at your job, but you might make it out of here if we have a quick and easy conversation. You weren't paid enough for this, obviously. You didn't know what you were up against. So you should hold it against whoever hired you to do this drainy job.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will roll to play. Short and sweet. Give us the info we need. You walk. Don't. Unpleasantness happens, which then means limb replacement, which is extremely expensive, and you're out. You're not going to get paid for the job, and then you're going to have to pay extra to get back to whole. And that's not a good arrangement for anybody. Right, Chummer?
Let's have you roll.
Snake Eyes. Awesome. Frickin' Snake Eyes.
So that
Let me refresh the page just to see if it really
sure.
means it. Yep. Still Snake Eyes.
So the good news is that that you get to mark XP.
Yeah, my 10th.
The bad news is this guy looks up and goes, I've got an open comms tracker to my team. And it's at that point that you will hear the gunfire open up on your position. Jinshu, you're kind of in like a street level. I imagine maybe it's a like a burnt out like food court little area here, and you're kind of standing. We see the plastic whipping in the wind and the rain and stuff, and it's now through. We see the silhouettes come from the neon as this team is coming up. Vanguard is in the area. Your bike is with you here. Jinshu, what do you do?
I'm calling Vanguard in to get all of us out, but I dive onto Arrow, the motorcycle, at the moment, and like crank it up as the headlight just flares to bright sort of magnesium light, and do like spins and donuts on it, trying to blind the people in, distract them, keep a cover going for the other two to start getting out.
So that seems like mix it up to kind of control the firefight.
Sure.
Does that seem right? And you can roll with your vehicle.
Yes. Because.
And then we'll cut to Spark.
My meat is a 0, but I get to add the power, so that's +2. So we'll just come roll these dice. It'll be fine.
These guys have hated you all today.
Okay, they just switched places. That's fine. It's 8 + 2 is a 10.
Is it 10? So yeah, you will light up the area. They're moving under darkness. They probably got some low vision to compensate here, and suddenly this mag headlight is spinning around, and they can't judge how many of you there are, and so they're a trained team, so they stop where in position. They're like you cease their forward movement, and you've got a couple of breaths that you can use to get out of here. Does that seem like a reasonable conclusion of that?
Yeah, and
you don't take any harm.
Nice. And he'll yell to the other two, "Vanguard's on their way, but it'll take a minute."
Spark, you are under fire.
Yeah, I think I'm going to... So we were all talking to this sniper guy.
Yeah.
And he let loose with the, I've got an open comms unit. And we start hearing the gunfire, and I think I lean forward, and I'm gonna draw like a little rune on his chest, and I'm going to do rift magic.
Okay.
And let's see what that looks like. That is probably plus touch.
Yeah.
I rolled an 8, so +2 is 10.
Okay.
Okay. On a 10 plus, I harness enough magical energy to create a shape of effect. And if I push, I can add an adjunct and make a choice from the 7 to 9 list. So the effect that I have, this is going to be 2 harm, and I think this is electricity again.
Okay.
And I etch onto his chest, and electricity is going to arc out. And I think one of the abilities is split. That's an adjunct.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is going to arc out like a lightning storm towards the people coming in. And we'll see sparks of lightning come through.
Perfect. I think what you can do with that is you definitely KO this guy so that his comms goes out, so they're not longer getting any info on your position. Mm-hmm. And it'll do 2 harm, and he'll drop. But I think the other thing it'll do is it'll bounce, and let's say your left flank of the people coming in as they're kind of pincering gets zapped, and they've stopped, and then suddenly and they go flying, and of course there's rain and water puddles and things like that, and they hit the ground, and we see the sparks go across the water there, and a couple of them are out, and they're just trying to get to, but they are going to be out for the duration of this combat. Grumsh.
I have to make a choice from the 7 to 9 list.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to choose the magic is draining, take S harm.
Okay.
So that's stun harm, right?
Yeah. You do have to, when you take stun harm, you do have to roll the harm move at a 0.
Okay. So harm move, I rolled a 7.
Good. So I think that there's enough wet and rain around here that you get some feedback from this thing, and I think you'll get knocked on your ass. Essentially, you get knocked down. There's enough flashback from this that you hit the ground.
Okay, that's
okay. Grumsh.
What
left
do we?
Flank, left flank is they're both sides are held. Left flank is knocked down. You've got open access way that way. The guy you had is out, KO'd right now. Their comms are in. So right now you've just got the right flank that could regroup and come in at you. You could try to take them out, or you could try to get out of here. Vanguard is on the way.
Yeah, I think I'm going to mix it up. I think I'm going to try to take out that right flank. I've considered when Spark went down of grabbing Spark, but then I'd be leaving Jinshu behind. So, yeah, I'm going to mix it up.
Okay. Let's
Now,
have you mix
let
it
me
up
ask-
against this gang.
Let me ask a question because of my cyberware.
Uh-huh.
Do any of my enemies have synth nerves?
No.
Okay, then I take +1 forward to mix it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not high level
Okay.
soldiers.
All right, here we go. Let me
Maybe get another XP.
I will not likely get another XP because I just rolled an 8 plus 3 makes it an 11. So I achieved my objective. The objective is to take out the right flank. If that's a fair objective to have.
It is a gang. So I think
Okay.
you will disrupt them. It's more that they break and they're going to have to regroup than it is that you actually kill them, because there's just a large number of them. You drop
That sounds good.
2 or 3 of them. They fall back. This is clearly you can tell you've got enough experience that this is a hired gun team. Just a step up from street gang, a little more organized, and they definitely fall back. You have the sense that this is a group of people that is, in an ambush they could take you out, but here on an open fight they can't. But they are falling back away from you. Jinshu, you got clearance on the right and left flanks. You got this guy unconscious. You could try and follow up and capitalize and KO one of the two groups completely. Or you could get out of here.
You said the group that Grumsh just went after is disrupted, but they could come back together.
They're falling back to doorways, running back behind vehicles, things like that. They're falling back for cover because
it would be a real shame for them if a giant angry car just came busting through the wall behind them.
Do you want to mix it up with Vanguard?
I think so. I think that sounds fun.
I think Grumpsh, his work essentially lowers their scale from being a gang to being a bunch of dudes running. So I think if you mix it up, you could probably take him out here if you succeed.
Nice.
Or you could mark XP.
What was that last part? Nothing. That's what that was. So I'm rolling synth plus power, which I think for Vanguard is a 2. Is it Vanguard? Oh, no, you're power 1. Okay. Still, though, that's good. So, +2. Really, that's what we're doing now. That's yes, 2 plus 2 is a 4.
So the good news is you get to mark XP. The bad news is they are falling back into this, and as you are there and you're commanding, you're on the bike, you're spinning around, you're hearing the gunfire, and it's just a lucky shot. But you get to choose 2.
I get to what?
Oh no, I actually no. It's not 7-9. You get to choose. No, this is me. You're going to take 2 harm.
Ow. I have to roll the harm move for that. Do I have any armor? Gear. No, but I have synth leathers, so it's 0 armor, but I subtract 1 when rolling the harm move.
Okay, so you take 2 harm, put 2 harm on the clock, and roll with a +1 on the harm move.
Ouchers. You guys, let's do some of that. Come on. 6, so my +1 makes it 7.
That's great, because you want low on that.
Well, I know, but it could have been a 6.
I think that you lose control of Vanguard. As you can sense, I think Vanguard jumps the curb and goes into the front of one of these things, and you can tell it is temporarily stuck. You're going to have to do something to get it out of there. Does that seem?
I told you the window has no supports around it. The door had a frame.
This was cooler.
This isn't a set. This is a real building.
It's in my programming to look cool. Prime directive. Spark. So this both sides are scattered to kind of lower their scale, and you've got an opening. You could try and get out of here. You could try and dispatch one of the sides. You could do something else. What do you want to do, Spark?
So what I saw happen just now was Vanguard kind of got stuck, but was headed in. I'm going to assume my partners are going to do their job, and I'm going.
It's a big ask right now.
No, I think it'll be perfect. Yeah, I have faith, and I'm going to run in. So basically, I think that my job I think the intention here is we're going to go hit this place, and we've been made, and right now, a lot of the guards are here.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you, you can tell that there's nothing there. That this is all an ambush, a setup to get you guys.
Oh, okay. So the stuff wasn't there.
Yeah,
okay.
you kind of established that this was a trap.
Okay, perfect. No, I'm not going to leave these guys behind. Then I'm not going to leave. I think what I'm going to do is, so I'm not going to mix it up. I'm going to pull I'm going to summon that demon guy again and see what that looks like.
Okay, absolutely. Roll here.
Hey, I got boxcars.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell me what that looks like.
So I think basically I've slipped and hit the ground. Crap is looking horrible. And I think I start, mumbling this chant. There's this loud explosion as Vanguard hits the wall. And basically about that time, a portal opens up and out steps this demon. He's got, I think with a 12 plus, this is a different demon. Looks to be the same. Looks to be the same type. Mm-hmm. Does not have the wings that they had before, but is about twice the size. He's enormous. He's huge, and he's going to start laying into these guys. Is there anything else that happens on a 10 plus? Oh, he can mix it up. That's what it is.
Okay. So let's resolve his mix it up to take out one of these flanks.
Okay. So I rolled a 4, and I don't think no matter what I do, I can up that. Even if it's with my touch, that would just make it a 6.
Okay. So does the demon have stats?
I would assume it would be my stats.
Okay.
So any damage it takes, I would take through the psychic link and all that. That's my assumption.
You will get over onto this right flank, and there is that moment when you are starting to grab these guys who are stunned, and you look up, and you see this guy has been fumbling with this for the first couple of rounds, but you can see he has an over-the-shoulder rocket.
Okay.
And he lets loose when this enormous demon comes this way. And it won't entirely hit you, but it will blow out. And suddenly we've got all this debris raining down on everyone. And I think you're going to take 2 harm.
Okay. I have armor.
And you get to mark XP.
Yay! I have 1 armor, so I'll take 1 harm, and then I'll roll the harm move. I rolled a 7 plus 1 is 8, and I think that means you get to choose. Yes.
Then I think this is the equivalent of someone gets a drop on you. This was going to be a fallout from the move, and I'll put this in. You were on fire.
Okay.
And the location that you're in has caught fire. right now. So now you've got the room that you are all are in. Sort of the space has started to ignite, and like imagine immediately burning plastic and that smell, and just all suddenly around you as it goes up. Mark the harm, and we will roll forward. Grumsh. So what do you think Grumpsh's term is for a situation that has gone from bad to worse?
Thursday.
So it's a Thursday.
Yeah, that the smell of the burning plastics, hair, and flesh reminds Grumsh of the Third World Wars that he participated in with UCAS when he was sent down. Central South America is what we used to call it, and that was just a place of the Third World Wars, and it's not good. So it's a bad Thursday. He is going to grab Spark and cover him up and just get out, trusting that Jinshu and Vanguard will find their own way out of there. But he's trying to save Spark and get out.
Let's have you act under pressure to get out of here.
Okay. So again, synthetic nerves means that I also get to take +1 forward to act under pressure because nobody else is wired. So I'll be rolling cool. Turns out, despite his voice and his appearance, he's not that cool. It's a 0 cool. But I got a +1 from the wired reflexes here.
So everything will be fine.
Dang it. It's 8 + 1 makes it simply a 9. So stumble, hesitate, or flinch. I get a worse outcome bargain, hard bargain, or ugly choice.
I think.
Is there a possibility I could help with that?
Yeah. I've got no problem with that.
Roll
your links.
Okay.
And if you get a 7 and 9, you share in the.
Yep. I got a 7.
Okay, but you will push it up to a 10, so there is no cost on this. So Grumpsh with Spark, like using some magic, tell me what that looks like. How do we see you get through this line of soldiers that are probably still firing on Vanguard and getting back in position? What do we see?
We hear like there's an explosion in the background, and he's just grabbed Spark like a freaking giant football, and he just charges through, and we see a bunch of bullets kind of bounce off the dermal plating, and we'll see how much he ignores it, but he doesn't take a whole lot of harm from this stuff, I hope. And he just barrels through, ignoring. He kind of shuts his eyes at one point because those are pretty. He doesn't want to get cybered eyes. I mean, maybe he does, but he probably doesn't.
Bullets
that's it.
Flying past, bouncing off, you run, you take off, we see you probably, crunch in a couple of car hoods as you go running to get some ground, glass goes splintering, and you just take off. You take off and you realize that you've left your bike behind, but you take off.
Yeah.
And
How much harm?
Oh no, you rolled a 10+. You don't take any harm.
Oh, okay, cool. With the help,
with Spark's help,
okay, good.
You get out free and clear, but you did leave your bike and your friends behind.
Friend, I don't really consider Vanguard a friend.
Wow! Wow!
How rude, Jinshu. It's this moment when you're coughing, you're in control with Vanguard, and you realize that you're alone.
Look, that's fine. I know who my real friends are, and my real friend has their front axle stuck in a framing beam. So
Yes.
I was trying to be nice and polite to these guards and just leave them blinded with some light flesh wounds, but fuck all that. So Arrow, these two panels on the side just sort of slide down, and giant ass autocannons come out, which by the way have 4 harm, area, messy, breach, armor piercing 2, and loud, presumably as hell.
Let's have you,
and so I'm gonna start cutting my way through security forces to get to Vanguard.
So you'll hit the right flank group. Let's have you roll that, mix it up.
All right. Mix it up. synth and power, and this is my good power, so yes. Come on, dice. You hate me. I hate you. Let's kill some guards. 7, 8, 9, 10.
10. So tell me what that looks like, because you've got this team. They're moving up. They've got their bullpup, designed auto fire weapons. They're moving up on that. They're firing on Vanguard. Laying bullets into that as it's stuck. We hear that, and then suddenly, what do we see?
It's the those things have come out, and he's been doing the donuts there with the motorcycle, but that screeching stops as there's just this vroom of the engine and the autocannons whirling up. There's sort of a misting as it cuts through the first couple on one side, but I think more what it does is scatter a lot of the rest of the group as Jinshu is like homing the guns in on that like support beam that Vanguard is stuck on, as it just starts to chip and shred and disintegrate underneath them until they can get free and the two of us can get out.
So I will say, yeah, you'll push these guys back, and yeah, you can hit that beam. However, because we still have that left flank that's intact, scattered, I'm going to need you to act under pressure, because you've had to deal with one side, and you got Vanguard out, but there's some gunfire coming your way. Let's see you act under pressure.
That's cool. Plus your car's power. This man, 2 for the 3. Okay, good. I'm good on wheels. Just be nice. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9.
Ooh. So since my summoned creature is there, can I try and help?
Yeah, you can burn, like let's say you can kind of try and burn it out with to assist, so he doesn't take some more harm as the bargain.
So I don't have any links, so this will be a flat roll. We'll see how bad that looks. I rolled an 11.
So this thing kind of leaps in the way, Jinshu, as you will realize you are about to get a blaze of gunfire on you, and you'll dive into Vanguard as the doors go to pop open, haul into it, and then I assume you peel out as we hear this demon kind of evaporating here, screaming that gunfire is still going on, right?
Yeah, I think it'll be a thing of like we get back out of the building, you see Arrow streak off one way as Vanguard and I streak off the other way, and I give sort of a last out the window wave of thanks to the demon as he's bleeding / ichoring / disintegrating into rift magic.
And I think all the guns kind of focus in on that demon and start, we see the tracer shots coming in as we run away.
I think we'll cut to another location. Grumsh, what's your fallback position? What's your fallback location for
neutral grounds is a coffee shop.
Okay. So I think we cut to, it cuts from the end of that to, we see the three of you around a coffee shop thing, got the little cups of coffee. You're kind of brushing off some of the stuff. There's the smell of burnt in the air. It's kind of clinging to you. If you have
just a little bit of smoke coming out from the leather.
If you have just a couple of harm, then you can erase that, because that's stuff that'll clear with just having a chance to recover between scenes.
So 2 is all right?
Yeah. And that's where you're at. What are you saying to the team, Grumsh?
I am sorry
for
giving you bad intel. Evidently, my contact burned us, and that's on me.
Oh, okay, as long as you realize it. I mean, I just want to say Spark and I were very careful with our contacts. Close, trusted friends.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Obviously,
have any
you
of
went
those,
to some
so.
stranger.
Evidently, she is a stranger to me now. Yeah.
I guess the question now is, how far did this go? Was this job real?
So
Yeah, I think
everybody I
job's real,
contacted seemed to know about this, and either everybody we talked to is in on it, or this job's real. We just got a setup. Yeah.
Well, now he definitely knows that we're coming.
I mean, so yeah, that's rough, but still, the pay's good.
So what if he has enough money to refill that hit team? There's a lot of guns, man.
Okay. True. Well, I'm not gonna bail.
Well, no, I mean, we signed up for the contract, and that would look bad, and I have a lot of money going on this, so we really need to finish this thing.
Yeah. So, I guess we still need to find this piece of dirk.
But I don't know who to trust now. I'm not sure that we can trust any of our normal contacts.
What about feedback? They seem on the up and up with you, Jinshu. They're connected.
Yeah. That last job went well. We got way more intel than we did on this one.
They amuse me too. What about Cell?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure this is her cup of tea, but I could try.
I'm gonna hang back and not talk to any of my people. It's obviously not a good time for me right now. I got to be honest with you. I was that Go Game bar, and Pumpkin gave me some trouble too. It's not been a good week for me, chummers. So I'm your backup, but maybe I don't lean on any of my people. You need anything from me, you tell me. Otherwise, just point me at it.
Fair.
Spark, you gonna hit the streets, talk with your pal?
Yeah, I think I'm going to hit the streets and try and talk to the cellsmith that I talked to last time. Yeah. And I rolled a 6 plus 2 for touch is going to be an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is it that you want?
I think the most important thing is a location. I know that, basically I tell Cell, we just got hit. We got hit hard. They knew we were coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's, I've worked with you in the past, and we've got kinship between us. And I think it's important that I know where we need to go. Where was this ambush called out from?
You need to choose 2 from the list.
Okay. Yeah. So I think they want me to help out with something.
Okay.
And I think it's going to cost a little bit extra.
So you're gonna have to burn a cred.
Okay.
And she'll say, I have some info, but when I left, Dante kept all my shit.
Okay.
All my personal effects, all my things. I need you to get that for me. Understood?
Well, that's actually against the laws. I mean, that all of your shit should have been tossed out with you. I don't know what Dante's doing. I don't know what's up with him.
Well, I'm telling you what I'm going to need from you. You promise to do that for me.
Yeah, I'll get your shit.
Okay. She says, so that team was recruited not too long ago. I'm checking through the Merc contracts. It looks like they were hired by another Shadowrunner team like your own. A group called Talos. They typically work for Renraku. Word on the street is that they've been hunting down some guy the last few days, and that they got word that there were rivals, which might be you.
Yeah, that would do it.
So yeah, they're on this guy's tail, and they clearly put that in to mess with you.
Okay. Any idea where they're headed towards to hit this guy?
No, but they've got a tech guy that is their driver that works with them, by the name of Siegfried Rye.
Okay.
A big old Swede. And he's a little bit looser than others, so that'd be the thread I'd pull on to try and find out where they are right now.
So I've never heard of this Siegfried guy. Is he somebody that we should push on, or is this somebody we should?
He's part of their
talk to?
team. If they're out doing something, he's with them. If you can figure out where Rye is.
Ah, I see. Okay. Thank you. I mean, I have to admit, I'm a little leery of some of my friends have shown themselves not to be friends, and I'm really glad that I still have you, Sal.
Sure. I'm not here to betray you yet.
Well, that yet concerns me, but we'll see.
Well, I don't have my stuff in hand, so I'm not here to betray you yet. Jinshu, what do you want to do? Now, and we assume that you've gotten the info from Spark.
It's not exactly her area of expertise, but feedback did give us good info last time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll at least try and see if she can get us anything.
All right, let's have you roll style.
All right. 8 plus 1 is 9.
8 plus 1 is 9. So you're gonna have to choose 2 from the list. You go to talk to her, and you can tell that she knows something. She has a piece of info. When you kind of drop the name, what do you want as the 2 picks there?
I think with everything in this job, your request is going to attract unwanted attention, complications, or consequences.
Okay.
Just because she does so like being in the spotlight, this sort of underground quiet work is not entirely up her alley. And yeah, she needs help with something.
She says, I know how to get you a track on this Siegfried Rye guy. It's actually great that you came to me. But I'm going to need a little upfront cash. Need a cred?
But I'm coming to you for this job so I can get paid.
I don't care. I need some money up front, and I'll get you the detail. That's how this works.
Fine. trading favors across town mostly just got me the need for a new paint job.
And I've got a stunt sequence they need done, and none of my people will take it up because it's too dangerous. So maybe you come in and do a one-shot for me.
Look,
I
feedback.
can tell you where Siegfried Rye is right this moment.
Yeah, I'm just saying, your other guys are afraid of breaking their bones. It's not gravity or hard surfaces I'm afraid of, it's that camera.
Well,
look, fine, at least show me storyboards for the scene.
Okay, I'll send them on to you. You agree?
I agree if there's a way to keep my face off camera.
Oh yeah, we'll
Stunt work. It's all smoke and mirrors, right? This is
absolutely.
all the lead actor. He does his own stunts. He's amazing.
Yeah, we'll get you a full hollow mask for it.
And a story. You push a story through the publicist about how he worked so hard on all his stunt moves.
100%.
Okay, send me the storyboards. We'll talk.
Okay. So your friend Siegfried Rye has his own car. Well, not quite as hot as yours, but obviously. He has a hot car and a couple of drones. Well, about 2 months back, he came in trying to get your old job.
With Mitsuhama?
Yeah. But he came through my agency to try and get fixed up. He had a whole thing about how he was going to be some kind of Viking car driver thing.
What? That doesn't even... Viking?
I don't even... Anyway, so when people come in to get contracted, when they have a nice set of wheels, we want to check in on them. And, we'll sometimes, have them do a driving course and stuff, and we put a little GPS and tracker and things on them to kind of run that. Sometimes we forget to take that off their car. I can give you the GPS for Siegfried right now.
It'd be a real shame if regular customers got word that this sort of sloppy work. I mean, forgetting devices like that on people's private vehicles.
Do you want the code or not?
Yeah, fine, I want the code.
Okay. Beep. She sends it on to you. Bye-bye. Does the kiss as she hangs up.
Always a pleasure.
And you will see, if you kind of run the tracker, things like that. I'm going to assume you guys are on the move as all of this is going on. You will see that right now, his vehicle is running parallel to a train heading south. Like he's doing the train job / kind of run alongside, and you kind of check that, and you see it's a passenger train heading down to Tirtagain, down to the Elflands.
Oh shit! Yeah, we definitely need to stop that before it happens. Look, so a friend of mine found a way to get a track on his vehicle. Looks like he's running the train lines down towards Elfland.
You think that's where they are? You think that's where the artifacts are?
They're either in the vehicle with him or on the train, and that's why he's following it.
So we need to hit it. We need to hit it now.
Definitely need to hit it before it gets to the border.
Boy, this is going to be some sweet driving to be able to catch up to a moving train and another driver's car while it's in motion. And it's probably only Vanguard's going to be able to, keep up with this, I'm assuming.
Obviously, but we got to get there. And so there's, the climb up out of our meeting space, up the little ladder up into the cab of Mother, which I have a picture there of the giant transport as well, as we do some ill-advised squeaking sharp turns, violent driving maneuvers, change direction, and get the crew of us off running towards the rail line.
Grumps, are you in shotgun or back seat?
I'll take backseat.
Okay.
Grumps is feeling real bad right now. He's not asserting his dominance over this team. He feels real super guilty.
And we get one of those shots where we see the tracks and we see the train go along, kind of bullet train style, though it's not as fast as a bullet train because, it's a movie thing. And we see this sort of decked out in kind of Viking sigils and runes car. It's running along alongside this vehicle. And you're going to try and kind of catch up and get parallel to this, Jinshu. Let's have you act under pressure.
Yeah, I think sort of as we come into scene, the camera like zooms back from the him up with his car by the train to like a half mile behind. We get the like subdued lights and the bottled water company logo that's on the side of Mother, the giant like 18-wheeler. As just all of a sudden the whole back door like thumps down, sparking on the roadway behind as Vanguard comes like pulling out in reverse at full speed, does a brake and turn.
Bootlegger reverse.
Yep. To then go speeding up and like vroom, pull past Mother to do the final approach here.
Let's see how you're doing.
All right. So act under pressure, you said?
Yep.
Cool cars. Power? Power, yes. So what? All right. I will learn my moves someday. Oh my. That's 10 plus 2 is 12.
You are up on this thing. You are right up. Grumps, Spark, it looks to you like, judging by the thing, that they might have come close. You see like some bracers on the side of this, like they might have already dropped some people onto the train. And right now, Siegfried is kind of running parallel to do a catch when all this goes down. How do you want to play this, Grumps? Oh, also mark XP when you locate chalk.
Oh, nice.
Chalk.
Let me mark that XP. I think. Yeah, I don't think we're doing this thing. So I bought a new move, but I don't think I can trigger it here. So,
okay.
Yeah, just saying that it looks like they're already making, or they may have already dropped off some guys. So
they probably got a couple guys.
Mid.
Yeah, on the train right now, probably grabbing the stuff.
Sweet. I love it. I'll check in. Jinsu. Drop out. Yeah, basically asking, do I go now? He's a little gun shy. So
look, yeah, that's what we're here for. Vanguard,
yeah.
Steady footing.
Thanks.
Gotta stop him.
Perfect. Do it. Okay. And then I'll jump across and try to
tell me what it looks like. You got wired reflexes. You think it's going to. You probably the Vanguard kind of cuts in behind, does a slide across. You got some space on this bullet train. You can see the tunnel up ahead, kind of thing.
So, guys, a brief moment of slow mo, and somebody in the sound effects like slips in, like, and he jumps. And then he slams right into the side and starts to fall down, but grabs onto the ladder there and starts climbing his way up to the top of the train.
Act under pressure.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't grab it. So then I'm going to go ahead and roll that. So waiting. It looks like that would be a 12.
So it is sweet. I imagine that you grab it, and then I think we see you punch in through a window, and swing up into this compartment here, and we'll come back to what you see in just a moment. What are you doing, Spark?
So I think Spark is really uncomfortable in all of this, and Vanguard is pulled up alongside the Viking vehicle.
Probably kind
right?
of moving, jockeying for position close to one another.
I think Grumsh needs backup. So I think I'm going to head towards... I think I'm going to summon the guy and see if I can't summon him there on top of the train.
Mm-hmm.
And give Grumsh the backup just so that, he's got somebody there with him.
Let's have you roll for that summoning.
I rolled a 7 plus 2 is 9.
Okay, and what are the costs on that for you?
Okay, so let me look at that real quick. I think that 7 to 9, you choose a form and an element from the list below, but he doesn't get any of that special stuff like flying or huge or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so again, it's the demon creature with fire.
Absolutely. So suddenly, and there's a demon up on top, starting to rend at the room that you're in. Jinshu, now it's you and the Viking car here. Probably the Valkyrie. Valkyrie and Vanguard, 2 V names here, and it's V period A period. It's the same thing as Vanguard, what is your goal here? Is your goal here to stay steady? Is your goal here to take out the Valkyrie? What's your plan?
I think my goal is to take out Valkyrie. I'm assuming our guy is in there, and even if he's not, I want to take away any sort of backup from these people that Grumsh and Spark are mixing it up with.
Let's have you mix it up.
All right. Synth and power is 2. Okay, 6 plus 2 is 8.
8. So you're going to choose your objective. You need to choose 2 things from Mix It Up.
So yeah, my objective is I want to try and disable Valkyrie.
Yeah, you want to get him out of this situation.
Let's see. I definitely don't want an ally to take harm because I'm afraid that might be Vanguard or possibly those other meat bags or something. Something of value breaks. We don't want to lose the things that were here after, or Vanguard, or honestly that sweet ass car. So I think it's too much noise. Advance the relevant mission clock.
You are now 1 minute to
harm.
midnight on the mission, going completely out.
Oh crap! Okay, cool. Hey, how things going?
One more tick on that, and the mission goes completely out.
Whew. And I take harm as established.
I think it is that as you come up and you go to hit this guy, they knew you were coming. And there is a moment when you will see something pop up and fires like a piercing round, and like is clearly see the aim, and it like zooms in on where your position is, and it fires this bolt that goes right through your windshield and into you. And I think you're going to take 3 harm.
Ouch. Okay. I'm inside Vanguard, so I do have 1 armor here.
Yeah.
And I have the leathers, so I'm still so 2 harm, and I'm making the harm move at a 1.
Right.
Okay, cool. This is all fine. This is gonna be fine. Oh, okay. Whew. That was almost a 10, but it's not a 10. It's a 6.
It's a 6. So you take the hit and you're gritting, but keep yourself. Blood is in the car. You hear not on the upholstery.
I'm trying. Blood, it just goes places.
And you do that thing, or you kind of ride, and now you're jockeying because that tunnel is coming up, like I said, and only one of you can get beside, and you're playing that chicken there. And I think there is that moment where we see, coming along, and then he has to peel. He has to peel, and you can see that as he spins out, dust and dirt everywhere, and and then you're in the tunnel. You don't see you're in that blackness there. Grumsh through this window in this thing, and this is the car that Valkyrie was running parallel to. So what you will see is there are 4 people in here. You see a elf on the floor, and he looks like he's probably a corpse at this point. You can see that there's a cybered up human in here, a gnome, and what looks like a tech guy, because the tech guy is doing some stuff, like going through like some materials that are here, like clearly getting things ready for transport. The gnome is dressed in no armor and has those fighting bands on that tells you that this is a physical adept.
Oh my God. I want him on our team. I'm going to throw him at people.
Her.
Oh, even better. Oh my goodness. I totally want to hire her if we don't have to kill her. Okay.
What do? You've got the jump.
Yeah, I got the jump.
And then you see the top of the train come open as this demon gets pulled up, and you'll hear this cyber guy go, "Notches, take care of the demon." What do you do?
Well, it turns out that this, in my opinion, is a charged situation.
I would definitely say that this is a charged situation that you've pulled into. Spark, you can see through the demon's eyes down into here as this is going on. So you're getting a beautiful shot of what's about to happen. Let's have you roll that charge.
This guy's work for Renraku. I can't love her. All right, fine. We just have to kick ass. All right, I'm entering a charged situation, and I'm going to activate my move, Serious Badass. So I'll step in and say, Wood Chummers, this is ours now.
And he goes, "Well, let's see about that, Grumsh. Clearly knows your name."
Oh, nice! That was he, as in
the human.
The human, okay.
Human. Looks like he's got like old ex-military marks on his thing.
Oh, this is good.
It looks like he might be old UCAS.
Oh man, I wonder if we served. This is good. I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and activate my Serious Badass. So I will roll a style. Here we go. I rolled really well, so the next roll is gonna be bad. Here it comes. Yep, called it. Hold on a sec. Let me refresh. Yep, that is a 4. So,
that is a 4.
Yep, that's 4.
So I think that you kind of look at the gnome, the kind of hot gnome who's just about to is leaping up to take on the demon, and I think that is that moment when this guy is in on you, and you see him pop wrist knives, and he comes in on you, and he just goes boom boom. He's got wired reflexes, and he does a couple of shots to your midsection for 3 harm.
3 harm. Okay. So I have dermal plating, and I took the move of hard, which is probably overkill, but we'll see how it goes. All right. So I roll the 3 harm, and it says, just to make sure I'm using them right, I subtract 2 from my roll for dermal.
Okay.
And I subtract my meat from my roll for hard, so that's another 2. So I'm rolling -1. Does that sound right?
Is correct. That does. That's exactly what it is.
Making sure math goes that way. That is a 5.
You are fine. This guy jams two knives in your midsection, and you flinch, but he doesn't even see you flinch. and you see him go, oh, fuck. Let me cut to Spark. You demon tears open this roof, and you will see this little gnome adept like leaps up 10 feet straight to get up on the thing with like no effort to engage your demon. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I think that basically the demon's going to, as the gnome leaps up, he's just going to reach out and just try and knock it. I think in general it makes sense if he just tries to knock it off the train, so it's not a concern anymore.
Let's have you roll mix it up.
Okay, mix it up with the demon with touch. I rolled a 6 plus 2 is 8.
Okay, you get to choose 2.
Let's do I take harm and an ally takes harm.
Absolutely. So let's say you'll take 1 harm.
Okay.
And the gnome gets knocked, and she shatters through Vanguard's window. And Jinshu, you're going to take a harm.
So I'm going to roll the harm move.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled boxcars.
So you're out of action. You take the full harm of the attack before it was reduced by armor. You lose the use of a piece of cyberware, or you lose a body part.
And that's my choice?
That is your choice.
I'm going to take the full harm before it was reduced by armor.
Okay, so it's just one harm. Okay.
Yeah.
And Jinshu, you take 1 harm, and this is gnome in your passenger seat.
I take 0 from Vanguard's armor, but even with a -1 on the harm roll, I still got a 7.
Okay. So yeah, she's got the drop on you. She kind of rolls like tumbles somehow in the passenger seat and is like seated next to you, and you see her reach over to where that bolt is, and she grabs onto it. Like she's clearly going to start twisting that on you in just a second. Okay.
By the way, Spark is still in the car.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Spark is in the back seat right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you had jumped out with Grumsh.
No, the demon's on top of the train.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're not alone.
But I'm like totally phased out, concentrating on the demon, and then there's this smash, and like there's a little gnome in front of me, and I'm like, what just happened?
Grumsh. What do you do? His name is Captain Castro, and he pulls back. He's clearly now he thought he had you with that, and now he's moving back to that kind of military training defensive position because he knows what's coming.
He does. Sweet. So I realize I still haven't suffered harm in this fight. That's so weird.
Well,
okay.
you took 3 harm, but you didn't. You rolled with the harm. Yeah.
All right. Good. So then I'll mark that XP. Sweet. So yeah, I'll just kind of say. And you for the prize?
Let's go.
Nice. Kind of agreed. Sounds good. I want to mix it up.
Okay. Let's have you roll.
Sweet. He has synthetic nerves before synth nerves as well, so I don't get that +1 forward. Rolling with meat. The meat is good. We will see if the die roll agrees. Fuck me. We have no intel and no gear. Is that right?
You have an intel, yes.
Can I burn intel for this? Because I just rolled a 6.
You can use it for anything.
Okay. Let me check in with the other players. Do you guys mind if I burn this intel? Okay, cool. Because I won't mind.
They're all pointing at you. Use it.
Use it. Sweet. I will burn that. So I rolled a 4 + 2 from meat, makes it a 6 + 1 from intel, makes it a 7. And now we're intellus.
Choose 2.
2. Yeah. I cannot advance the relevant mission clock because I know that kills us.
Yeah.
And I think the 2 I'll take. Oh, wait a second. Let me check something. I can't. Okay. Okay, cool. That is not what I thought it was. And yep. Okay. I will choose something of. Oh God, that's a terrible idea too. You take harm as established by the fiction.
Okay. And
And we check in, players, friends, chummers, best buddies, allies, teammates. One of those must apply. I worry that if I choose something of value breaks, it will be the something of value that is the things of this mission. Therefore, I am considering an ally takes harm as established by the fiction. Are you guys okay?
I had similar fears when I made the harm roll, so I understand that thinking.
Yeah, I'm okay with both.
So, suck up some harm, friends. I take harm as established. An ally takes harm as established. Since it's in the train car, guessing demon, but you're the GM.
It'll. So let's start with you. You're going to take 3 harm. Roll the harm move at -1.
Hot. Here it comes.
You are real close to the edge. Then.
That is fine. I've rolled a 2, a 3 -1, a 2.
You are fine. You take it.
I'm built for this.
Spark, you're also going to take 3 harm. Essentially, as this guy, also pulls up a big magnum pistol and is firing that even as he's coming to stab in, and his shot's going to land on the demon.
Right. Will my armor? I don't think my armor counts for this.
I'm going to count your armor on this because we're using your
yeah?
physical stats. Yeah.
Okay. So I rolled.
Seems
a
out
7.
there, but would Vanguard's armor help with this? Because it's like psychic backlash, isn't it?
It's psychic backlash, so I don't think so.
Okay, yeah.
So I rolled a 7, and I think I'm rolling the harm move, right?
Yeah.
So it's a 7 plus 2 is a 9.
Yep.
So I think you choose in that case.
I think that. Let me see here. It's a harm move. Let me check this. I think it is that with one hand, the gnome has reached out for the bolt, and then the other hand, like a physical adept, reaches back and grabs you by the throat and starts bonking you into the top of the car.
That makes
She's
sense,
like this. Pull. But Grumpsh, tell me what this fight looks like as you take Captain Castro out.
Oh, it's nasty. We knock over a few things. The tech guy kind of shrieks in worry.
Imagine you're spinning around, like running on the walls inside of this thing, jumping around here, different areas.
It's the kind of thing that maybe Jinshu would appreciate if he saw, because Grumpsh is normally just a big, tough brawler. He's had CQC training from the mill, and he just drops back into this. So this is brutal, but it's actually like you said, there's a little bit of acrobatics. The wired reflexes are moving so fast. There's all kinds of move, counter move, a bunch of kung fu type stuff. But it turns out that just his sheer bulk, Grumpsh's bulk, and he uses the dermal plating to where he's willing to take one hit. He'll take 2 hits to give 1 back, and eventually he just starts wearing down Castro, and he chuckles like, "Getting a little old for this, aren't we?" And then it's just like a smack, smack, smack.
And that last smack lifts him back, and he'll go out that window.
Nice.
We don't see a body, but
please no.
Yeah. Jinshu. Vanguard goes, "It seems like you're in trouble."
Thanks, Vanguard. Real helpful. Just bleeding, fighting an angry gnome that can twist in too many ways. It's fine. It's fine.
What do you want to do? What does Vanguard have? Anti-passenger weaponry? Anything like that? What do you think? Or what are you doing?
No, Vanguard doesn't have any weaponry. Vanguard's a luxury car. With
So the gnome's got plenty of room to operate.
So much leg room. He accidentally hit the button for the seat warmer. It's actually really nice. Yeah, so I think behind us, and parallel with the train, finally Mother comes catching up to provide an escape for Grumpsh there. But no, inside the car, I guess I'm Yeah, I'm trying to get my pistol out. I have a terrible meat, and I don't feel like punching even a gnome. So I'm trying to get my gun out and use it in here.
Let's have you roll, mix it up.
Super fun.
You are in your car, and I'm assuming that your car has some tools. So if the car has any power, you may add it to this.
All right.
And Spark's
Yeah,
going to
so
be able to
I
help.
think there's like hard swerves and brakes every time the gnome like gets their footing or tries to come at me. Dice roll thing. What? Okay, I don't trust you. That's a 9 + 2 is 11.
So
Mix it up. My objective is no more gnomes in my car.
How is it that you get this gnome pitched out of the car?
And they'd like reach behind and are bashing Spark around too.
Yeah, they kind of got a hold of Spark's throat and kind of bashing.
So I think I get a shot off through their forearm. Makes them like pull their arm back in, and then just as they're moving to take a step in at me, actually swing the gun around like sideways, hit them right in the side of the head with the butt of it, as the entire door just like boom, flies open. Gnome goes out the side, tumbling along the ground a couple of times before the door like slams
we
back
see
shut.
her hit the side of the train, bounce, does that physical adept leap, hits the front of your truck. We see her kind of spin up and then superhero land behind, and then fall over unconscious. Spark, what are you doing? Oh, now this hand isn't on your throat.
So, if I understand correctly, all the combatants are gone. The only thing left is the the technician inside, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have the demon start grabbing things. Grumsh, are you cybered up? Do you have a cyber arm?
I don't.
Okay, so I think that. But you said that this tech was all.
Oh yeah, he's already got the stuff boxed up.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so in that case, the demon's gonna kind of lean down into the hole.
Tech box backs up.
I think he kind of shoves the tech back into Grumsh. And he starts grabbing the boxes. He probably can't handle all three, so one goes to Grumsh. And then they're going to see about getting out.
I think that's no problem. I think he grabbed this. The tech goes back. He doesn't interfere. He's like, I'll just go sit over here, sir.
It works.
Okay. Grab the boxes. Demon can jump over, get the things back. Grumsh. It's a little more calm now. You've got two vehicles to jump over onto.
Yeah. Well, this has been fun. Listen, you shouldn't work for Unraku. They will burn you in the end, friend. Yeah, that gnome adept. I've really got to work with her sometime.
Okay. Bye.
Talos, right? Intel's right. You guys are Talos.
Yeah, absolutely. That was Captain Castro and Notches. Yeah. Okay.
Good. Have a good day.
Goodbye.
And grab stuff.
And we'll cut to the scene of you guys delivering the goods, I assume. Car's a little battered, doors bent, frame's a little off. We still got the marks from that original, smash in through the thing.
There's gnome blood all over everything.
Yes, gnome and Jinshu blood all over everything.
No, it is all gnome blood. There is no Jinshu blood that got on Vanguard. It was all that rude intruder.
So you mark an XP when you get the items. you mark an XP when you deliver the item. So you get 2 more XP. And this group will take possession of them. You see that they are ready and prepared, and they've got sort of Indiana Jones style box it up for the archives kind of thing as they lock down these items. You will see that it's this head thing that you've been told about. You see this container that to you, Spark, looks like it has a little bit of a rift in it. And this little Japanese netsuki thing that you can tell is an item to summon something. And they will lock it away. One of you should roll your get paid move. You are going to be rolling that at a +2. Who'd like to roll?
We all feel so wildly lucky.
So I rolled the get the job roll. So why don't one of the two of you roll the get paid?
I think that's a fair thing.
I've rolled like poop all day.
I'll roll to get us paid.
Okay, roll with a +2.
You're the one who's low on cred, so I wish you luck, friend. Oh, so close.
That's a 9.
That is a 9. So you may choose.
That's not helpable. I'm sorry, just to double check. I'd hate to not ask.
There's no thing that says that you can't help.
Then I want to help.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it just seems like a thing I'd try to do anyway. Help Jinshu get paid. So
I think you're going to have to roll with with edge.
Oh
no, links. You roll links. That's right. There's no stat.
Okay.
Well, go ahead and roll links. I apologize.
No problem.
I thought
no problem.
it was remembering wrong.
That is a 9. So should give you your +1.
So that's you kind of pushing in to kind of do the negotiations there at the end. And these people clearly want to get you out of here and get things
Liz
moving.
Johnson, a lot of trouble. Renraku really upset. Good thing we sneaked it out from you. Yeah, yep.
Yeah. So you get 3 from the list. Jinshu?
Well, I'm definitely the one interested in getting paid, so we're paid in full.
Paid in full. Spark?
It's not a setup or an ambush.
That is a fair choice and a good one at this point. Grumsh?
Yeah.
I don't know if I care about the employer, so and I really want to I want things to go bad with outside parties. So you learn something from the mission. Everyone marks experience. Yay!
Yay. I will put a tick on the Renraku clock.
Yes!
As they are pissed.
As well they should be. No, we got trips. Is that right? We got trip because of paid in full?
Yep. You get triple what you put in.
Oh my God, I have so much money.
Grumsh, I think you lapped me in XP.
I got so much XP this game.
You also mark another
much.
XP for getting paid, in addition to the one that you got from the bonus there.
Ding! Everybody advanced today.
Yeah.
But I gotta add rows.
All right. Grumsh, who did you learn about today of your fellow employees?
I want to say I learned a little bit more about Jinshu because Jinshu was just there. Like that awesome movement with Jinshu taking out the sniper and Vanguard being there taking out a bullet train. I think I learned more about how amazing Jinshu is.
I like it. What about you, Spark?
I think I learned more about Jinshu as well. He definitely took care of me whenever that adept was there, and I was getting my head banged, and I was all confused. What's going on here? And Jinshu was just like, "Nope, out."
So mark an additional link with Jinshu. And Jinshu, what about you?
I think I learned more about Spark, like the different sides of Spark, because we saw like the magical strength with we had the Electro Demon that like saved all of our asses by pulling down a whole squad. We had a Fire Demon, he's very versatile. But also I saw that moment of weakness where he was caught inside of his summoning and just had no defenses, I had to be there to help him. So I think that was a neat insight into the strengths and weaknesses of Spark.
Excellent. Well, shall we do a quick round of stars and wishes? Do you mind doing that today? I will say, I've run through the Sprawl quite a bit. I have seen a team blow the mission, like get the action clock up, and they had when the action clock gets full, that's just it. Like whatever, like something heavy comes in and you have to get out. But this is the second closest I've ever seen it get. Like you were on the threshold of Renraku sending in a tactical strike force and forcing you to evac out and losing all your money and all of that. So that was delightful. Rich, do you want to start with stars or wishes, or do you want to do both? What do you think?
I will happily go however you want. You want me to just like, well, I'll just rattle out stars and wishes. I'll start with wishes. Yeah. Man, the die roller.
Oh my God.
The die. I mean, sure, I marked 2 advances this game. I was almost to 1, and I filled it out and got 10 more. Half of it from misses, at least half of it from misses. It was tenacious. I've never seen badness that way. Stars. So that was my only wish of like.
Okay, sure.
Damn, wish the die roller had been just a little more like even.
It was
keel.
really
Really
dark for a long time.
I had to have made it hard on you, and I really appreciated, if we'll move to stars, that you gave us the heads up that like, hey, the mission clock is only a little bit left. That was nice. That I mean, I don't think you necessarily had to do that, but it was nice because it helped me to make a strategic choice where I didn't feel like a gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was able to have that table conversation of like, hey guys, I do not want to advance the mission clock because we know what's going on. I don't want to do this because we know where that's at, and that could be a thing. So that made me feel more comfortable in choosing to hurt allies, which is a thing I never want to do unless I'm kind of have to. So I appreciated that. I really liked how, oddly enough, the fact that we were so close to almost losing the mission meant, like, I saw it in the fiction. They were almost done with the mission. And so when we snaked it from them, sorry, that's an old like pizza delivery term, but when you take someone else's really choice run, you snake the run from them. I don't know where that actually came from. That's the only time I've heard that. But anyway, we snake the mission from them. This like already packed up, ready to go. Like that was so mechanics in fiction, hand in glove. I really was impressed by that. And I also, I don't want to go on and on forever, but I love that Spark chose a different demon type, and like it's a really impersonal thing in a way, and I find that fascinating. Like the idea that like I don't know what body I'm about to steal from the demonic realms. Like I just reach in and take it, and that's where we throw it. I just love that. It kind of remind me of the wild magic from I'm going to mispronounce it, but Dragera from the Bruce novels, the Vlad Tolstoy novels, or the way that the Drageras use magic was just like grabs raw power, throw it out, figure it out later. It's just like I like that aspect of Spark. And I really thought you were going to choose to lose a hand. I really did. Like I thought, oh, this is the moment, but you didn't, and mechanically it made sense, especially the one harm. And Jinshu's just great. I love the moments of like when you chose. No, this is a luxury car. It was for like you held to that idea, that theming, and it's great, right? It was a suboptimal choice. I love, Patrick, that you are not afraid to make suboptimal choices that always end up being really interesting. Like they're not suboptimal to anyone else, but you're more than willing to make your character not really suited for the thing that they're doing. Pulling it off anyway, it makes them that much more heroic and makes me want to pull from even more. I'll be quiet. Those are my things.
Nice. Stephen?
As far as wishes, I would say, I guess my biggest wish is I wish Jamie were here. I think they would have really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great session. It was a lot of fun, and I felt like everybody got to stretch their muscles and everything like that. And there was a lot of tension due to the dice. So I was rolling physical dice and rolled like crap too. So it just happens. Um, and as far as stars, again, I think my favorite thing was actually how everyone rolled so well with the failures. Oh, this was a complete setup. This was an ambush. Now we've got to get out of it. What's left? It felt really tense, which was great. And I enjoyed, oh, now we've got to go snake the stuff from the other team. They're en route. What are we going to do? Oh, we are hosed. We have to get there, and Vanguard has to fight off the Valkyrie. That was a great move. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Awesome. Patrick?
Let's see, wishes. I don't know. I'm enjoying this game. I guess I wish it had in its basic setup and the moves some more like interacty stuff or stuff that's not directly pointed towards action of the mission, which I know this is what this is all about, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it could use some of the emotion and like philosophical grounding of like the Veil, where honestly I very much feel like the Veil could use some structure and point from this.
Yeah, there's a halfway point that I think could be very cool.
Mm-hmm. But I'm definitely enjoying it. Stars, I love the shadow runniness. I love the just like let's lean into the ridiculous tropes of Shadowrun, and just like pull out the coolest things in the bag because they are the coolest things in the bag. So like Fizzadep Gnome and a train job with multiple named cars and just lasers and neon and all sorts of ridiculousness is just wonderful and over the top. I love our NPCs page because it's all of the like, oh, let's take the most Shadowrun-y looking thing and do that. Pumpkin, for instance, is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Rich, I really love Grumsh in the like for someone who is violent and reactive, he's very sort of methodical and calm, at least in his demeanor and speech, and very thoughtful about things. And I liked that weakness and just like getting a little bowed down by the trend of everything going wrong, to where he started to doubt himself a little bit, and that was sort of interesting when he turned to the team. I was like, should we talk to them? Should we? Is this now when we hurt things? Should I be action? Was just it was a lovely moment, and Spark, I think is fun. I love seeing the magical play out of this world. I like what you're building on with the Rift magic and the demons. And I don't know. I guess semi wish here too. Like I'd love to dig a little bit more into people's backgrounds and backstories, but especially Spark's. There's a lot of there that I'd love to see.
It is a game that, because of that kind of structure, the mission thing, that the only really way to do this is to do a little bit at the start, but to take a session where you just do kind of RP and stuff, or split a mission across a couple sessions where you get more time to do that. But it can be a real challenge. Thank you all very much. I had a great time with this. I was watching the clock burn up there, and it's always fun to see that. And I thought everybody did a great job in spite of the rolls. So crazy. So I'm going to stop recording.